So your first lesson in the intermediate scratch techniques module is the stab scratch. Now this is a very, very popular scratch. It's used a lot. You'll recognize it instantly when I do it for you in a second. And this is a scratch that really shows off your skill, power and speed. And it's starting to get more precise and more difficult, as you can imagine, as we move through this course. But hopefully you're up to speed on the training so far, so you're ready to move into the stab scratch. So first of all, I'm going to demo it for you so you can hear what it sounds like, and then I'll talk you through it and give you, of course, the practice drills. So this is the stab scratch. Okay, so you can see where it got its name from. It's very stabby, it's very immediate, it's very aggressive, and very, very crisp as well using this sound. We're going to stick with the sound, the main sound that we've been using so far. I'll use some different sounds when we do stab combos later on in the course, but for now we're sticking with this sound. So the stab scratch is effectively a fast cut or forward scratch. So this is the cut. And if I speed that up, you remember that we've already learnt that. That's the fast cut scratch. But the difference is that you're never letting your hand off of the jog wheel here. And in fact, you're doing a very, very fast baby scratch underneath with a bit more emphasis on pushing forward fast. So this is what it sounds like without the fader. So you can hear it already sounds very stabby there. And then of course, when we incorporate our fader, hand technique that we learned for the cut scratch, this is what it sounds like. So really important to note is it's the same rules apply as the cut scratch. You're not hearing any of the reverse stroke at all, but you're never letting go of the jog wheel. Now, for those of you that use controllers with capacitive jog wheels like this that can get a bit slippy, this is one of those scratches where if you're doing them over time, you may need to readjust your fingers and move your fingers around. I've purposely used a smaller controller here with smaller jog wheels. This is the DDJ SB3 using Serato, and I'm using just one finger here, but with these fast movements, you can start to slip your position on the jog wheel and you may need to just move it around just to get it back in place. All right, but keep an eye on your waveforms to keep you locked in. So when starting to learn the stab scratch, this is what I want you to do as a drill. Don't worry too much about tempo to begin with. Just learn to do the fast movement. Okay, so you're just going to do one stab at a time to begin with. Okay, that's your first drill to practice, and then of course you're looking for your 8 or 9 times out of 10 consistency, and then you can start to speed up as you get more comfortable and basically shorten the distance of the space between these little practice stabs. Okay, now I wouldn't expect you to get that fast, but you can see how you can just speed up and speed up and speed up. And when your technique starts to go, I was definitely reaching the limit of my speed capabilities there. When your technique starts to go and you start to hear the reverse strokes and it all starts to go wrong, then slow it back down and practice. Okay, so that's how you can learn stabs in isolation. But of course, as always, we're going to have a drill that you're going to follow along to over a beat. And first up, we're going to do one stab per beat over 2 bars. Okay, so this is how the drill goes. Okay, there you go, that's your first drill. So one stab every beat. So you're going forward and back half a beat each time, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back on each beat. And that is 8 times because it's 2 bars, so there's 8 beats in the 2 bars. All right. Okay, so there you go. That is the stab scratch. It is very, very well used, and we're going to build on this. We're going to put together some faster patterns and some combos throughout the rest of this module, and there's more stab combos later on. But I'm just going to do a little stab freestyle for you right now, just to give you an idea of how much this stab is used. I'm just going to incorporate it with some baby scratches and some drops and some slightly different speeds, just to give you a little bit of inspiration and just to make you go, ah yes, of course, I hear stab scratches all the time. So let's just jump into that. All right, just a little quick flurry there, but lots of stabs in there, and especially that last bit, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drop. That's a really, really famous use of the stab scratch. All right, so with that in mind, let's move forward to our first stab scratch pattern. I'll see you in that lesson.